Gotta talk fast. Gotta talk fast. Gotta talk faster, faster, faster. Gotta talk fast.
Welcome to an oral review of Archie comic Sonic the Hedgehog, where we acknowledge our great skill at automated dialogue replacement, also known as ADR, but have opted to solve the issue at the source by replacing the scuffed quarter-inch cable. I'm Nick, and except for this intro, I wrote the script.
And I'm Dominic, and except for the intro, I have not read the script.
What are we reading today?
We are reading Sonic the Hedgehog number 6.
Exciting.
Very exciting. I don't even know what month this is taking place in.
I could tell you.
Okay.
Well, actually, I should I should verify it because on here it says January, but it definitely feels like a Christmas issue.
Maybe they were just late.
Yeah, maybe I should actually start researching when it came out because I don't know if I trust these things on the, on the top left of the comic.
The Spin Doctor.
I'm going to just preemptively say I didn't proofread this, so okay. Let's rock and roll.
The Spin Doctor. Story by Michael Gallagher and penciled by Dave Manock. We open on the Freedom Fighter, charging full force at Robotnik's factory. The Freedom Fighters are experimenting with a new tactic. Surprise attacks. Boomer, Sally, Antoine, Tails, and Sonic all charge Robotnik's factory, only to find out that the factory has been shut down once and for all. Robotnik, being the kind man that he is, left Sonic the following note. Sonic, I have moved my robo operations deep inside the Mount Mobius active volcano. You'll never stop me now, so don't even try.
Is there like some Spanish in there? I love it.
There totally was.
Keep that.
I was trying to do some Nordic, so Bill Skarsgård, right?
Sure,
I'm trying to do some Nordic thing, but it turned in like flipped R's. So.
Yeah, no, I'm super into Spanish Robotnik.
Flamenco Robotnik. Okay. I just edit in flamenco music. I won't. Tails, Sally, Antoine, and Boomer all say in unison, "It's a trap!" However, we should know by now that the easiest way to get Sonic to fall into a trap is to make it obvious that it is a trap. Cut to Sonic, standing in front of Mount Mobius, Robotnik's face carved at the top of the mountain, with metal spikes jutting out of the side of the mountain reaching towards the heavens. At the base of the mountain, a sea of lava. There is, however, a giant cave with 2 rails coming out the cave at the base of the mountain. The rails go over the sea of lava to where Sonic is standing, along with a pinball paddle. That's right. This is a Sonic Spinball tie-in. For those of you who do not know what Sonic Spinball is, it is a video game version of pinball featuring Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic Spinball features 3 stages and 1 final boss stage. Each stage, you have to complete a series of objectives and find all 6 of the Chaos Emeralds to move on to the next stage. I am unsure if this means that there are 18 Chaos Emeralds, or if Sonic was being a good sport and handing them back to Robotnik after each level. I know what you are thinking, dear listener. Sonic Spinball sounds like a fantastic mix, that Sonic and pinball would go together as naturally as peanut butter and jelly. While in theory I agree with you, the creators of Sonic Spinball took Sonic in a bold new direction. While the original Sonic game was fast, had tight controls, responsive, played like a video game, Sonic Spinball decided to be slow, unresponsive, and did not play like a video game. The creators of Sonic Spinball tried something new and radical for the time, being boring. Sonic Spinball is a horrible game that actively tries to take control away from the player because the less control you have in the game, the less chance you'll realize that the game is absolute dog shit. Sonic understands the mission immediately and jumps on the rails and rides them straight into the heart of Mount Mobius. Robotnik, sitting in his room at the top of the mountain, watches Sonic come in. He's excited that Sonic is coming into the Veg-O Fortress because he thinks Sonic won't stand a chance. And once Sonic is defeated, Robotnik will roboticize the entire planet with the Veg-O converter and rule the planet at last. Sonic rides the rails into the Toxic Caves, the first level of Sonic Spinball. Here there is a sea of pink, radioactive liquid with toxic barrels floating in the liquid. Sonic is rolling along the rails when Rexon, the mutated robot that looks like a roboticized green dragon, comes out of the liquid and snatches Sonic. Rexon brings Sonic to Scorpius, a robot scorpion with Robotnik's face. Sonic, in classic Sonic fashion, decides to spin dash, bouncing between Rexon and Scorpius over and over again until both their heads fall off. Too bad those bots weren't more level-headed. Sonic leaves the radioactive caves and heads to Lava Powerhouse, the second stage of Sonic Spinball. Here we are introduced to Hip and Hop, two kangaroos who have Australian accents and have escaped from Robotnik. Their appearance is unsettling, for they look like humans in a kangaroo suit. They warn... I'm trying to do it. Let me do an Australian.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman?
Hugh Jackman.
They warn Sonic of the Therans up ahead and hop out of the cave. It's one word, it's hard. Pharaons show up. Pharaons can be described as Pharaons can be described as light red eggs with jetpacks, feet with no legs, and arms that are hold a spear like Wayon. What's Wayon?
How do I spell it? What?
Weaon.
I don't know. I was fast and loose this morning.
And arms that hold a spear like a warrior. I think that's what you're going for.
Yeah.
Sonic spin dashes into all the Pharaons and heads into the next area, just like that. Sonic enters the Machine Round, the third and final level of Sonic Spinball. Here, Sonic and a bunch of captive animals are about to be turned into robots. Sonic is about to release them when a bunch of plants that look like the plant from Little Shop of Horrors comes out and starts biting and trying to bite Sonic even harder. Sonic, being the fastest thing alive, dodges all the attacks and finds an elevator to Robotnik's office. Sonic runs into the elevator and the door slams shut behind him. Here, Robotnik appears on the monitor in the elevator and lets him know that he has failed. Here we learn that this is not an elevator, but in fact a spring-loaded trap that shoots Sonic out from the volcano. Luckily, Tails was hovering nearby and catches Sonic. Tails and Sonic fly off with Mount Mobius looming in the background. End of Spin Doctor.
Yeah, I should have definitely proofread that one.
The first thing I want to note is that Rexon is the name of the dragon, right?
Yeah.
Rexxon.
Exxon. Oh my god.
Yes.
That didn't even click.
Can you look up when the Exxon Valdez disaster happened?
Yeah. I could do that live.
No. Because like that's the first thing I was like, this is toxic. This is pollutants, and this is even the start of it. Like Robotnik.
89.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So it's already happened by now. So yeah, Robotnik gets a hard on for like overly evil, trying to like pollute the environment.
Oh hell yeah!
Like literally, like his idea of success is purposefully dumping into, not even trying to cut costs. Like literally, like no, I need to satisfy myself by pushing toxic fumes into the ocean.
Yeah, this also just goes right back to like, we were hammered at a young age of being like, hey, oil companies are evil. We all know this, right?
We need to start transitioning away from this, right?
Instead, we just doubled down.
We didn't just double down. They were like, the fossil fuel companies were like, yeah, so this is a problem, but...
Right? What if it's not?
We just didn't
What
care.
if I proposed it's not a problem?
Oh, well, trust the expert.
Yeah, trust the expert.
That's why you should trust the expert.
The thing...
Don't do that. Please trust the experts.
The thing that really threw me for a loop with this one, well, it was two things. One is the mere fact that they decided to do a Spinball tie-in, and that's just a trash game. I'm sure everyone knew.
I'm not a fan of pinball.
I'm not either.
I mean, I'm okay with pinball like in my hands,
Yeah.
like actually playing a real pinball machine. But video game versions, they just are never satisfying. The most satisfying version, honestly, is that Space Cadet pinball that came with
on XP?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's the only pinball I've ever really played.
But I'm sure that's just nostalgia. That's just like, you know.
I mean, I played real pinball. I get really bored.
Yeah.
And then I played Sonic Spinball and got even more bored. So just absolute dog shit. I played it before writing this because I wanted to make sure I can talk to the fans
Honestly,
intelligently and I've reported the news.
Honest reporting.
Yeah.
But tell me, so we talked about this last time. How was the soundtrack too? It was also lackluster.
It was trash.
Really?
It
Utter
was
trash.
not good. So the game is completely made by Americans, I think.
Got it.
And they're like, and you'll notice, well, you didn't play. I think this is the only game that references like the Archie comic freedom fighters and shit.
Oh, really?
Because Boomer's in there and like Sally. It's more of like cameos. They're in there like
But that's still
in
more-
like a bonus stage, but they're still in there.
That's still acknowledgement more than
Yeah.
any other game has ever done.
And then whatchamacall, Hop and
Hip and Hop.
yeah, they launch you up in the lava level, and that's like their whole thing.
Yeah, so this is really, in terms of faithfulness to the source material, it's pretty good, would you say?
Yeah, honestly, because I mean, there's only 3 levels.
Yeah, there's Hip and Hop.
Yeah. I don't know what Farron's are supposed to be.
I don't either. Did you just type in Farron's on Google or something?
No, I should.
You should do it right now. Because the second thing we want to get to is the fact that robots can be mutated.
That's so
Which does not make
weird.
sense.
Yeah.
I mean, that just feels like it just feels like Mike Gallagher didn't. That's not how biologics works because they're not.
Well, I
biologics.
wonder if in the manual for that game or something.
He was just trying to be true to the source material. So
Yeah.
fair. If that was the case.
Okay, I typed in Sonic Farron and nothing came up.
Okay, that's
so
fine.
even amongst Sonic fans, no one knows. The thing I want to bring up is like Sonic just failed.
Yeah.
Like those animals that he was gonna rescue, they're dead. They're robots.
They're roboticized, right?
Yeah,
But that doesn't mean that it can be saved later. Maybe not this issue.
we don't know that.
We don't. But they're not gone for now until that we see it on a panel.
Okay.
It's the death of a superhero,
Yeah.
right? And even then, they can be revived.
Well, if you want to see more Spinball, you should write into Sonic Grams.
Sonicgrams at gottatalkfast.com. We should not plug in every single story.
Well, no, it says that it was specifically in the comic
Like
itself.
their Sonicgrams.
Yeah,
Not the cooler Sonicgrams.
Yeah, the better one that's still active. On some of the comics, they're like, "Hey, if you want more of this, let us know and we'll do it." That's how we got more vertical and horizontal.
I still think that was an inside job. That
Yeah.
was like, let me just, if they need the receipts, I can like bullshit 3
Yeah, no, there's
letters.
there's
from kids.
2 things that I know for a fact are inside jobs, and it's horizontal and vertical
Yeah.
coming back and 9/11. What's the next story? I'm also not convinced horizontal and vertical didn't have something to do with 9/11.
Let's hope. Well, not 9/11. Maybe the first bombing.
Oh yeah, back in the 90s. Yeah, that has Al written all
How did
over
they get the
it.
bomb in there? They had to have been extra dimensional. No,
So, did you know? Sorry, this is a tangent.
there was the first bombing. Yes.
Yeah, no, I know. Call of Duty is the new one.
They've caught up now.
Yeah. Well, is the rumor is that they're gonna end the next game with 9/11.
With 9/11.
Which
Yeah,
then immediately makes me think that they're going to open the game with the bombings of the Twin Towers, because that happens in the early 90s.
Yeah.
So I bet this is completely off topic, and I'm not even a Call of Duty fan, so I don't know why I'm like hyped up about this.
Yeah.
But I bet that game is going to be, it opens like World Trade Center,
Sure.
and what you guys do, you guys save, because the bombings were originally going to be worse.
Oh, okay.
So they go and they're like, yeah, we mostly saved it. And that's because the government gives us unlimited money. And then the end of the game is going to happen. They're going to be like, well, we won. It's the 90s. There's no more wars.
They're not going to try it again.
Yeah. And then they're going to be like, we're going to not give you money. And you know what happens when you don't give them money? 9/11.
That's very possible.
Anyway, so there's another
No,
comic.
I just want to say, I cut my teeth on the original Modern Warfare 2 Xbox lobbies, that and Halo 3. So I still have a soft spot for Call of Duty, even though I haven't played one in like literally a decade, I think.
If we're pulling this card, I cut my teeth on the original Call of Duty.
Sure.
That was...
When you needed LAN, right?
No. It was online.
It was online? Okay.
Yeah. It was one of the few games I had at my father's house. So I played a lot of Call of Duty 1.
Let's talk about your dad.
Nothing else. That's what this podcast is about.
It's extra funny because I know the story already.
You know a lot of stories.
Yeah. You also have here, why did Hip and Hop have Australian accents? I just like to think that there isn't in Australia until they name drop Australia. However, it's just like a dialect, right? It's like, that's just a dialect of this part, kind of like how there's a South Mobius that apparently held slaves.
Well, I mean, they make references to the world that we know, right? Because they had like machinery that had the words like made in Mexico on it. That's and true. Stuff like that.
I really can't explain that one away.
So what's this next issue called?
All right. This next story is called Here Comes the Bribe. And it's a one-shot. Sonic opens up the Sonicgrams mailbox to see a letter written by whom I could only assume is a horrible, horrible person. Brandon Twilley of Milford, Delaware.
Man, you're just going to call him out like that.
Well, also, Brandon from Delaware?
I'm not following.
Our current president is from Delaware. Okay.
Fuck.
Brandon Twilley of Milford, Delaware says, I want to see more Antoine, said no one ever. The letter continues, I think Antoine is the noblest freedom fighter of all. He's brave and loyal and puts up with your practical jokes, and more than once he's pulled your fat out of the fire. Does it say fat?
Yeah, that's not a typo. Wow. That is legit. I had to read it like 8 times because like this doesn't make sense.
And more than once he's pulled your fat out of the fire. Not a typo. Sonic immediately recognizes something is wrong and goes to Antoine, where we discover Antoine is bribing fans for fan letters.
Yeah, that's the only way he'd have fans.
Yeah, so they've established, well, okay, it could be that is an actual letter. Like that is a real person, and the joke was, hey, let's make
they're like, let's bump this up a bit, right? Yeah.
Exactly. But if there's ever an inside job, it's probably that one. Also, going back to the 9/11 real quick, I can never escape it.
None of us can.
To find us. Yeah. I got into arguments all the time about on forums in like early 2000s.
About the steel beams?
About the steel beams. And it's like, they didn't they didn't like literally melt to pure liquid. Mm-hmm. They got weakened, and you can bend, steel at the temperatures. They've tested it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And also the plan's like, technically the towers can
who's fucking paying you, man? Is Antoine paying you?
No. Not anymore. But but it's the fact that they didn't account for, planes. Oh, sorry. They did account for planes to smash into the towers, but they didn't account for the jet fuel to go out throughout the whole floor, liquefy the beams a little, or make them malleable, and then the rest comes tumbling down. I still have a text file, like a notepad text file of like those talking points saved on my desktop computer.
I'm learning today that you got into fights with guys on the internet, which is very funny.
I am an early 2000s forums warrior, and I don't remember all the usernames that I used, but I promise you I was that. I was kind of like Marlon Brando. Did you know this story?
No, it's just, I kind of wish you don't expand. You just leave the story there. It's like, I was kind of like that guy.
I was kind of like Marlon Brando, who at the end of his life, he was getting onto like internet forum fights with people.
Oh, hell yeah.
Completely. He liked it because it was completely anonymous.
Yeah.
He was just discovering the power of the internet in that particular fashion. And so coming up next, I did not like this story. Sonic's Christmas Carol. Mm-hmm. Written by Angelo DeCesar and penciled by Dave Manock. Robotnik. Rotor Cratchit. We start on Robotnik, and he is Ebenezer Scrooge, right?
Yes.
And it's like the typical Victorian scene setting for the start of Christmas Carol.
Yep.
Rotor Cratchit, have you been saying I'm penny pinching? I'm a tight-fisted evil miser. Rotor responds by saying, "No, Mr. Scrooge. I only said you should spend some money on repairing the roof." Classic Rotor, always trying to stick it to Robotnik Scrooge. If you're wondering who Rotor Cratchit is, it's Boomer. There's no explanation as to why the name change, and it's really weird to introduce it in a non-canon Christmas Carol adaptation. Nick and myself knew the name change was coming, but what a weird way to introduce it. If I didn't know ahead of time, I would have assumed that this was just a name given to him for the Christmas Carol adaptation. We got to a wide shot of Ratchet and Robotnik standing in Robotnik's office, covered in snow up to their waists. Robotnik would never cave to something as elemental as snow. He will commit to a roofless office.
I want to point out that elemental as snow was a really good line.
It pretty much was. Yeah, and I think I saved it because that was not how it was written. But it was elemental. You did use the word elemental, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Rotor remarks on how Robotnik is in a better mood than usual and asks for the day off. Something that just isn't possible with a factory that runs at peak efficiency 24 hours a day. The factory? Turning every living being on planet Mobius into a robot. We cut to a machine. The machine has a conveyor belt that has animals on the inside on the conveyor belt and robots on the outside of the conveyor belt. The inside goes into Scrooge Robotnik's instant makeover. This machine will, 1, make you a new person. Well, it will make you new. 2, do away with bad feelings. In fact, all feelings. And 3, make doctors unnecessary. You will need a mechanic. Rotor promises that he'll make up the time he takes off. Robotnik agrees as long as Rotor's lunch is reduced from 5 minutes to 1 for the next 10 years. That night at Scrooge Robotnik's industrial mansion, Robotnik is falling asleep in front of his giant television when his old partner in evil, Jacob Snarly, appears on the screen. Who is a character we have not been introduced yet, so that pun really doesn't really work.
I wasn't sure if that was his name or not.
So Snarly. It's not Jacob.
Okay.
Because Jacob Marley is the original character's name.
Oh,
yeah, Jacob
okay.
Marley was his old associate.
Yeah.
But Snarly is the name of the character. But again, that pun doesn't make sense because we're not introduced to Snarly yet. Okay. Instead of the classic chains from the Christmas Carol, Jacob is covered in chains of oil cans. Jacob is a tiny man with a large, long nose, balding but with a few strands of hair that are really long, sticking straight up. Snarly has come as a warning to Robotnik. Change your evil ways, or Robotnik will suffer the same fate as Snarly. Death. Robotnik will not be intimidated, especially by some loser like Snarly. Robotnik smashes the TV and goes to bed, ignoring his old business partner's warning. Robotnik, pretending to not be scared, goes under his covers, shivering and scared of every little noise that will bump in the night. Just then, Sonic the Hedgehog bursts through Robotnik's window with a skateboard and a backwards baseball cap.
It's pretty fucking cool.
That's pretty rad.
Honestly, it's the best part of this whole issue.
Chill, bot dude. I'm the spirit of Christmas past. You're past. Let's check it out. We're past cool.
It's pretty good.
Sonic grabs Robotnik and flies out the window on the skateboard. Sonic is going to show Robotnik's first Christmas with Uncle Chuck and Sonic. Uncle Chuck being a character that was technically introduced in the prequel miniseries, but not in the mainline issues. We cut to Child Sonic and Robotnik putting ornaments on the... Okay, I have to point this one. You put ordnance?
Oh,
so
right.
I was like, holy shit. I'm like, this goes metal. Okay.
I specifically remember being like, I don't know how to fucking spell this. I'll go back and figure it out later.
We cut to Child Sonic and Robotnik putting ornaments on the outside Christmas tree. Uncle Chuck, who just looks like Sonic with thick white eyebrows and a thick white mustache, asks the boys to finish putting the ornaments on the trees while he goes and fixes up some lunch. While Uncle Chuck is inside, Robotnik runs to Uncle Chuck's tractor to knock down the Christmas tree and will put the blame on Sonic. End of part 1.
Okay, we didn't talk about the prequels because
we didn't want to leave you out in the dust.
Yeah, the prequel episodes were rough and we didn't want to re-record them, truthfully. But this side plot of Sonic and Robotnik being like I don't want to say childhood friends because they don't seem like childhood friends, but like Robotnik is like an orphan and Uncle Chuck like took him in. This is like a plot that like they keep on trying to do, and I don't get it.
It's a really I mean, in terms of Christmas Carol parallels, this isn't even. That's not even a Christmas Carol. This is this is 100% original, where they're trying to make the two, hero and villain, siblings, or at least step siblings, and it's just really confusing, and it threw you're right, it threw me in for a loop, and that already put a really bad taste in my mouth. I usually like Christmas Carol because
adaptations,
adaptations, because I just like oh my god, who wrote Charles Dickens in general, at least like the smaller stories. I don't think I like the Great Expectations sucked ass, but
well, your expectations were too high.
Exactly, 100%. But I liked I like Christmas Carol, but not this one. Bad start.
Uncle Chuck is like another thing to like just. I feel like they can't just assume people read the prequel comics, right? And so like Uncle Chuck hasn't been introduced.
No, neither is Snarly.
But like,
or is it Snively? I think it's Snively. I'm sorry, it's Snively. Again,
no, Snively sounds familiar.
Yes, but it hasn't been introduced, so I don't blame me. But yes, Snively is what it is, because they wanted to rhyme it with Jacob Marley, so Jacob Snarly.
Yeah, this honestly, it feels like this wasn't. Like the timing of their comics got screwed up.
I think so. Again, I don't think it was their fault either. Right? It was because they had the Force in, like they had all these characters lined up. Well, or the Sat-Am cartoon was, out of whack too. It's just rough.
Yeah,
but that's okay because we'll save it with Uncle Chuck. I don't think you wrote any of Uncle Chuck's quotes, but if you did, I was gonna voice him like. Do you remember the Tom and Jerry cartoon with Pecos Hank?
No.
It's the mouse, the gray mouse who looks like Uncle Chuck a little bit with the mustache and everything, and he has the guitar and is like I forget the name of the song.
This feels like a great Uncle Chuck impersonation.
It would have been.
Yeah, I don't think I quote him in this.
That's okay.
Well, I'll read you a line at one point, and then you could do it again.
It's gonna suck, but anyway. All right, here we go. Sonic Christmas Carol Part 2. Robotnik is charging the tractor at the Christmas tree, and I swear to God...
I'm sorry to interrupt. Also, in the prequel, they do the same exact plot, where Robotnik charges something with a tractor, right?
I think you're right.
Yeah. I'm like 100% sure that they literally just do this plot again.
So they were recycling it because they don't assume that.
Yeah.
But then they did assume certain characters. Okay. Or maybe they assumed, is Uncle Chuck in the cartoon is in Sat-Am?
I don't know. I haven't watched.
It's been a long time, so I don't know any of the side characters. Okay, here we go. Sonic Christmas Carol Part 2. Robotnik is charging the tractor at the Christmas tree, and I swear to God, Sonic is doing the Island Trench maneuver again. That is 3 for 3. If he does this move one more time, I will punch someone. At least spin dash makes sense. Why is he not spin dashing at the tractor? That's his main attack. Sonic runs around the Christmas tree at super speed, creating a trench around it. Adult Robotnik, attempting to change fate, charges at Sonic, attempting to stop the trench from being made. Robotnik trips and his head falls into a bowl of Christmas mush. He is now in Knothole Village. Sonic is the spirit of Christmas present and is wearing a present as clothes. Tails flies in with a present from Robotnik and it looks like a turkey. Sonic, not Christmas present Sonic, who was a ghost, but the one who is actually in the present with the other freedom fighters, takes the turkey and says if the turkey is from Robotnik, then surely it's some sort of trap. Sonic writes return to sender and sends it back to Robotnik, which was a good move because it was literally a bomb. We cut to Robotnik again, but this time Christmas Future, Sonic in yellow death robes, brings him to the future where he sees an old Robotnik. Robotnik has ravaged the planet. Rotor, Sally, Tails, Bunny, and Uncle Chuck are all around. However, they are worn and tired from all the years of fighting Robotnik. Christmas Future argues that there is nothing left to rule, as the world is ruined. Robotnik starts rethinking his ways until a giant robot that he's built captures the freedom fighters. Robotnik is now re-energized, knowing that someday he will have victory over them. Just then, old Sonic the Hedgehog shows up to save the day. Years worn on Sonic, he has a long beard and a cane. He no longer has super speed. Sonic attempts to do his classic, the spin dash. Sonic falls flat on his face. Old Robotnik is pleased. His victory finally complete. Just then, a mail dog appears with a package for Robotnik. It was mailed on 4th class, the slow way. The package looks to be a turkey, with the note, "Return to sender," written on it. Robotnik opens the package and is blown up. Just then, Sonic wakes up. This was all a dream, and he is back in his home at Knothole Village. The Freedom Fighters and Sonic wish all of us a happy holidays.
Yeah, I hated it too.
Yeah.
The thing that threw me for a loop, and like I don't know if this technically counts because it's a dream, but we literally just established in the last comic that his shoes give some super speed.
Well, no, because those shoes from the Olympic episode, they depowered him.
Right.
So it could be that the shoes certainly help, like gloves would help a baseball player theoretically, right?
Sure.
But that doesn't necessarily mean they can't run without them. They can't run fast without them. So I think it depowers him. Those shoes were depowering him.
We gotta make a theme song for emails, right?
Damn it, you're right. We're just gonna cut straight into that.
I think so.
Okay.
Oh, no, was there more you want to talk about?
I mean, I don't really have much else.
There was. I feel like there wasn't much to say, which is why I was like, "This is a good emails episode."
Respect to the writers and artists who are working hard on the issues, but I think they were really crunched out of this one. So
no, fuck that. They did a horrible job on this one.
Stop it.
One of us has to be the bad cop,
Or
right?
Neither of us could be bad
You're
cop.
clearly Sonic, and I'm Shadow in this scenario.
I mean, is there such a thing as a good cop? Okay.
Funny.
Now it's time for Sonicgrams. You can write to Sonicgrams. Oh yeah, it's a legally distinct Sonicgrams. It's an unaffiliated Sonicgrams. We made our own Sonicgrams.
We have a nice little letter from Mike F.
The I'm assuming is a he, but the dude who sent us 4 emails before.
Oh, we're way past 4 now.
Oh shit! Thanks, Mike. If you're tired of Mike F, write in.
No one's. Honestly, I'm at the point where I'm like, anyone who writes it should just be Mike F.
You'll get him, but you'll change the name to Mike F.
Yeah.
For anonymity.
I'm thinking if anyone doesn't actually want their name to be read, I'm going to just call him Mike F.
Yeah, that's honestly fantastic.
All right. I don't know this offhand. Fuck. Okay. Who are your favorite tertiary? Tertiary?
Tertiary. So,
Thank you. Tertiary.
So third, right?
Yeah.
So not first, not primary, not secondary, but tertiary.
Characters from Sonic Universe, not Sonic Tales. We're talking your Mighty the Armadillos and your
Bean the
Charmy
Duck.
Bees.
Yeah. I think Espio's really cool. So we're getting into games now, at least so far. Espio's really cool, although not much of a personality. Yeah, who else? I don't remember much else from the games. I'm thinking of like Sonic Heroes, but those are all kind of primary or secondary characters.
I don't know. Truthfully, I don't know enough Sonic to know these like side characters. I like the President of the United States, and I like how he's got a picture of Sonic on his desk.
That is a classic scene, yeah.
That's pretty cool. I always liked that Gator, but I don't even know his name. From the Chaotix crew. It's a gator, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't know.
I don't know.
Espio the Chameleon.
Yeah.
Charmy Bee.
Yeah, well, that one I know. Because it's in the email. I know Mighty the Armadillo.
And you don't know Find the Computer Room?
No. I don't know what you're talking about.
Find the Computer Room. That's a joke from Shadow the Hedgehog.
I've never played Shadow, and I've never played Sonic Heroes.
That's a damn shame.
Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna play it.
Heroes is kind of dog shit. The soundtrack is good, but the gameplay itself is absolute trash. I was getting into a fight with someone, but anyway.
Do you get a list of notes on your PC for talking points?
No, I should. I will soon after this episode gets out. But no, it's It's Vex the crocodile.
Okay, Vex is an alright name.
Yeah. At least I hope it's Vex, because now you've got me second guessing it too. Can you look it up?
Sure, I'll quickly.
Oh, Vector. I'm sorry, Vector. Vector the crocodile. That I know. That's for sure it. Vector the crocodile.
Yeah, it's Vector. Isn't Vex the Genesis green dude? I'm thinking Vector Man.
Vex is like I think it's an original Xbox. Vex. Look up video game. I think it's a Vex for the original Xbox. Yeah, that makes sense.
Guy.
I never played it though. I never played it.
It's a multi-platform. That was on Xbox and GameCube.
Of that level of games for the original Xbox, where they were still like trying to figure out like, okay, before we make it Master Chief, who's our mascot? What's our game?
I was Blinks. Yeah, Blinks boy.
Which is not a great game, but
it's very bad.
It's the first one is okay.
No, it's not.
The second,
don't lie to the people.
The second you should play the second one, because the second one has an insane story, but the gameplay holds your hand way too much, to the point where every new encounter is a tutorial.
All right, I'll announce it here right now. I will stream both Blinks 1 and 2.
Thanks, Mike. But no, SB. I'll just say SBO is a cop out. Vanilla is completely bland. Haha. I wasn't even trying to make that joke. Honestly, I just kind of like the main dudes.
I'm kind of into that hot chick we talked about from that white waifu.
You know what?
Topaz. Yeah,
Topaz
we're Team Topaz here.
Team Topaz, because she is
baby
confirmed. At least in her 20s. So that's the best you can hope for in Sonic World.
Yeah, considering everyone else is like 13 to 16.
Yeah.
You're. I love how Mike F frames questions.
Okay.
You're now head designer at Robotnik Industries.
Oh my God.
And I got the cadence wrong here. I apologize. Let me start over. You're now head designer at Robotnik Industries and are tasked with designing a new robot minion. What simplistic, repetitive action would this minion do in order to thwart our blue hero?
In order to thwart the blue hero, not just any repetitive action. Oh, that's tough.
I mean, honestly, you go basic here. You just do like Mega Man, like stuff where you're just like, I want a guy who chops down trees. So
are you asking for efficiency, or are you asking for like?
No, you're designing whatever you're.
Okay, so it is a woodpecker.
Nice.
Whose job is to like hammer nails down.
Nice.
But it doesn't do it efficiently. So an efficient way. So like, imagine this is the beak. It would like punch out like some the nail down. No, it has to full body like this every time.
Sure.
And that, to me, going 90 degrees hard like that is really funny.
Yeah.
So it would be that, and it would try to nail Sonic, but not directly shoot Sonic with the nails, because that makes too much sense. It would do something convoluted, like the nail bot. Yeah, it nails down a nail, and it like shoots up a seesaw or some shit like that attacks Sonic. Right? It shoots a boulder. The seesaw shoots a boulder. So maybe it's not nailing something. Maybe it's like, no. The woodpecker is hitting the other end of the seesaw.
Nice.
Yeah.
What a good. That was great, man.
Just apply Looney Tunes logic.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I looked up. They did make in 2020 new Looney Tunes cartoons. They're just called Looney Tunes cartoons, and they're on HBO or just Max.
Yeah,
and they're pretty good. They're pretty good shorts.
You've been watching them?
I've watched a few of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry to deviate, but did you have one?
I feel like it would be like some sort of octopus that like puts oil down on the ground to help like move heavy objects or something.
Like in Super Mario Sunshine, the giant squids.
I never played Sunshine.
The squids.
From Sunshine. Yeah.
The squids from any Mario game.
Sure. And so, something that like shoots out oil. It's like it's there to like help move machines and stuff.
Did you have a GameCube?
Yeah, I just played good games.
What the fuck? You can't even make that joke.
I don't know. I
understand if you didn't play Sunshine.
You wanna know my deep dark secret? The only Mario game I've ever beaten is Super Mario 64.
That's fair. That's fine, because Mario games, it can be there's like those one or two levels that really like, this doesn't make any freaking sense. So
no, it's not that. I just fall off.
You just got bored?
I don't really.
All right. Fair enough.
I just don't play them.
I got way too into the Yoshis in
I've
Sunshine.
beaten more Sonic games than I have Mario games.
I mean, I don't know if that's a positive or a negative to either party.
But yeah, something that shoots out like an octopus that shoots out oil, and Sonic's whole thing is he goes fast, right? Mm-hmm. So if something makes it so he can't stop, that seems like a pretty bad deal for our hero.
Yeah, any platformer that's like, hey, here's the oil slick that'll make you loopy. It's like you're skating on ice. That's like, oh, this is annoying. This is very annoying.
Do you suppose that Buns, as we like to, don't read the email.
Oh,
there's actually a spoiler.
Okay, got it. I didn't read it.
Do you suppose Buns wanting to be a hairdresser is a pun on hairdresser as an HARE?
You win, Mike.
I realize
that's the pun.
I realize this is a stretch of a pun, but seems in line for what passes for humor in these early comics.
100%. You nailed it. You 1000% nailed it. Yep. I didn't even make that connection.
Yeah, as soon as I read it, I was like, son of a bitch. That's why they did it. And suddenly I didn't hate it as much because I kind of went on a rant when she was introduced where I was just like, I don't know, it just feels like they did her dirty wanting to be a hairdresser. It's of course. Hair. Honestly, I would have probably tried doing the same thing.
I would have made her racist. Yeah, no, I mean, because you're racist. And you're just trying to like apply that to everything. Yeah. Sneak it in. Yeah. Sneak it into every piece of media. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna call it for the emails. We don't have to include this, but I've been watching Riverdale. I figure if I'm reading the Archie comics, I might as well go all in on Archie, right? So that's not the way to go all in on Archie. Well, the other way is to read all the Archie comics, right, and there's like 1,000. Yeah, they're short. Yeah, but they also started in like 1943. That's cool. My grandpa could have like read these comics. Call of Duty could have started during Archie. First level. The guy's reading an Archie as he goes into D-Day. Yeah. He was like, I gotta find out what happens to Veronica. Yeah, right. Riverdale is an incredible show. It's just Glee. It gets to become Glee. With supernatural elements. I don't know Glee, so I don't know what that means. It's like musical episodes. Just off the rails? Is that what you're trying to say? Yes. Well, what I'm going to say is I'm only in the middle of season 2, and Archie has like started making his own like paramilitary group. Yeah. To fight this like guy that's like terrorizing the town. So he's like setting up a watchdog like thing, and he's like sending out intimidating videos of like him, and like he's like trying to send this message to this bad guy, and he's like being all intimidating and stuff. He's like, you come to Riverdale, you mess with the bulldog, right? I don't know what he says exactly. And so he's saying it, and then he just has like a bunch of hot shirtless dudes in masks like all around him, like trying to flex and like be like, so the homoeroticism is, dude, honestly it felt like a gangbang just happened or was about to happen. Okay, I need to watch this. I need to watch but now you're speaking my language. Oh boy, happy Pride Month, baby. I mean this comes out after Pride Month, so we can't say it. Gay people don't exist. Yeah, no, it's only the 1 month we acknowledge them. Yeah. So that's no. I'm just kidding. That's gay. You know what's really funny? You fucked us. Why? Because you based this off of Bobby Schroeder's reading order. I did. And she put down everything. Yes, but she also put optional for like Sonic X, which we're going to skip. We're going to skip Sonic X. But this numbering you took includes all the optional. So we got to read all the optional. No, we don't. I'm not. What about Sonic the X. Mega Man? Okay. I will take the hit. I will read the Mega Man issues, and then I will explain the context when Mega Man shows up in Sonic, and I will explain what's happening and what is Mega Man's motivations. Those episodes are just Just you like just reading in a closet, just like a madman.
Yeah.
For like 6 hours, a 6-hour YouTube video.
I'm not even like talking. I'm just like reading and smoking. I don't even smoke, but I do for when I read Mega Man.
Yeah, there's like 15 minutes in between each issue, but you're taking breaks. But
yeah, it's very Metal Gear Solid 4 loading screen. And that's this issue. Only 569 left to go. Nice. I'm Nick. Oh wait, I could probably. Here we go. Now I look like I'm looking at the camera. I'm Nick. I stream Tuesday and Thursdays at 7 p.m. CST at twitch.tv/Mojosaurus.
And I'm Dominic. You can follow my jazz adventures in Chicago at Blue Collar Jazz, just like how it sounds, and my personal Twitter at DomGuan1, DOMGUAN1. Took a lot of photos. I saw a group called Safety Squad in the city. A dude got egged at the end of it.
That doesn't sound very safe.
Well,
especially with all that bird flu going around.
It's pretty good. That's pretty good. Go.
You can follow us on socials at Gotta Talk Fast. So did you have more? I feel like
No, that was it. That was it.
You can write to the show at sonograms at gottatalkfast.com. Ask us questions, provide corrections, and give your opinion on this week's issue. And we could work on this outro, but I'll say it again. And remember, when life keeps going fast,
you gotta talk fast
and just get through it. I love you. I'm glad we both immediately understood the assignment. Thank you for watching. Come back next week, Monday. Be there or be square.
That one sucks.
Gotta Talk Fast was written by Nick Folkerts and edited by Dominic Guanzon. Intro and outro themes recorded by Dominic Guanzon. Gotta Go Fast originally composed by Norman J. Grossfeld, Joseph Garrity, and Russell Velasquez.
Gotta talk, gotta talk. Gotta talk, gotta talk. Gotta talk, gotta talk. Gotta talk. Gotta talk fast. Gotta talk fast. Gotta talk fast. Gotta talk fast. Gotta talk, gotta talk. Gotta talk, gotta talk. Gotta talk, gotta talk. Gotta talk, gotta talk.